In the Great San Joaquin Valley, the largest, the most, the wealthiest agricultural area in the world, there are cancer clusters in these communities surrounded by vineyards and cotton fields and other agricultural products. These cancer clusters come because of the unregulated use of cancer-causing pesticides that are used and have been used for many years now, that are wrecking not only the lives of the workers and their families, but the environment, the water, the soil, and so forth. Hardly a day goes by that we do not get a report that a worker has been poisoned. Every so often, like 2.5 weeks ago, we get a report that a worker dies from the use of pesticides. When that happens because of the publicity of the boycott, because of the fast, and because now there's great awareness of the danger of the pesticides, the local authorities go into a very great panic. For instance, when the 25-year-old farm worker died, an autopsy was done on the body, and today, this is 3.5 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, we still don't know the cause of death. But we know the cause of death. But officially it has not been reported what the cause of death was, except that the first report came out saying that it was a great mystery, the death of his worker, because he was supposed to have been fully protected. He had all the things that the law requires for protection, including the garments and the mask and the respirator and everything. Yet he died. Worst of all is the impact of the pesticides on the children. In McFarland, as you saw in the video, the rate of cancer is 800% higher than the national average. The video was made 3.5 years ago, is now outdated, because now in McFarland, in Early Mart, 14 miles north of McFarland, we discovered another cancer cluster where the incidence among children, cancer, is 1,200% above the national average. We have visited with those children, with the families, and we know too well from seeing them the agony and the slow, painful death and the great fear that exists in those communities about, as you saw in the video, where's he going to strike next? I'm about to have a baby, and is the baby going to be born complete without any defects? Table grapes is the largest food crop in California. It employs about 80,000 jobs and about 50 or a little less than 50,000 workers, mostly in California, a little bit in Arizona. 10 million pounds of pesticides are used, mostly organophosphates, on grapes every year. That's about 5,000 tons of pesticides on those grapes. There are more than 75 types of pesticides used, and according to the government, U.S. government accounting office, 34 of those 76 legal pesticides cause cancer and some birth defects. But we really don't know all the hazards of these pesticides because EPA has not yet finished doing the study on those pesticides, and we're told by estimates by the GAO that it's going to take EPA probably to the year 2200 before they catch up and they have every single pesticide analyzed to find out the real impact of those pesticides on the environment and human life. We maintain that there are no safe pesticides because the sole purpose of a pesticide is to kill living things. And while the growers may not recognize this, we maintain that workers and their families and consumers are living things. And that the use of pesticides in grapes, as an example, or the reported poisonings and damage to workers in table grapes in California is 52% of all of the poisonings in every other crop combined in California. In other words, more poisons are reported in grapes than all the other crops combined in California.